Hi, everybody. Welcome to the McNay Art Museum's Family Art Play video demonstrations, where a McNay educator will demonstrate how to do a fun and simple art activity from your home. Thanks for watching, and let's get started. All right, so today's activity is going to be called a craft stick harmonica. We are considering this a STEAM or a STEM activity. So if you have that need for that kind of activity, this would be really fun to do. And obviously, as you can see here, it's going to be a really simple supply list with things that you can find at your house. And a lot of these things can even be substituted for similar type items. So let me just point out what we have here. These are pieces of plastic straws, and just really small pieces. So if you get some takeout and you get a drink to go and you want to keep your straw, you can rinse it out and let it dry and then cut it up into pieces for use in these kinds of crafts. These are some really colorful craft sticks or popsicle sticks. So even if you have a popsicle treat and you want to save the stick afterwards, you can use them. I have 4 here because I wanted to just show you that these are fun, different colors, but you really only need 2 for this. Yeah. You'll need some rubber bands. These are the little blue rubber bands. Sometimes you get these on produce from the grocery store, or if you just have some lying around, these are like the thin kind. You'll need at least 2 of the thin kind, and then 1 of like a thicker rubber band here. So if you want to grab some of those, you might also need a pair of scissors, perhaps a pencil. And if you don't have rubber bands, paper could also be used. So let me just shove some of these aside. Let me start off with 2 craft sticks here. What I'm going to do then is take one of these straw pieces. I'm going to cut it in half. You really need these small little pieces, and they're going to go not fully on the end, but just slightly inward on both ends there. I'm going to take this thicker rubber band and place it over the top. And it isn't super taut, but it's just tight enough to leave a little bit of air in there, but not so much that it's like overstretching itself, overextended. All right, so then I'm going to take this rubber banded craft stick and just put it over, sandwich these pieces of plastic. Well, let's just do one at a time. I'm going to sandwich it, but just slightly inward like this. So you can kind of see it's giving a little bit of space and a little bit of resistance there. And if you don't have plastic straw pieces, you could just as easily use a piece of rolled up paper, or maybe even a little piece of cardboard, something that's going to give it a little bit of resistance like this. And I'm going to take my thin rubber band. Sometimes you find these on like green onions and different kinds of produce from the grocery store. And I always try to save them because they come in handy. And there we go. All right, so that's just going to secure that side. And I'm going to do the same over here. You know, I've also seen if they didn't have plastic straws, you could even use pieces of toothpicks, and that works just fine as well. You just need a little thin sliver of space in there, just like that. And this is essentially your DIY craft stick harmonica. You would blow air through this little sliver of space here, and the air that you blow through would vibrate the rubber band and create kind of a harmonica-like sound. It's really, really simple. It's really fun. You might even get some different musical tones. If you blow in versus on the center or the left or the right, you might change your tone a little bit. So that's kind of interesting as well. And another option for this harmonica is if you don't have a thick rubber band, you could also take a piece of scrap paper, which I'm going to do right now. I'm going to just trace one of these craft sticks because I want my strip of paper. Doesn't have to be perfect. There we go. I want my strip of paper to be the same width and length of my craft stick. I don't want it to be too big or too little, but just about the same. And I know that there are other craft sticks out there that are a little bit wider than these. Maybe they're closer to like a full inch. Those work great as well. But this is just what I had, so I'm going to use these. There we go. So I could just as easily, instead of using the big rubber band to make my reverberation sounds, I could just use this piece of paper. And you would follow the exact same instructions as the last one. You can cut this in half, sandwich these in between. Well, just like this. And then this is the exact same harmonica as this one, except you might even get a different sound with the paper. So the paper would vibrate and make its own sound, and then the rubber band would also make its own sound there too. So have fun with this. You can experiment with different materials to make different harmonicas, depending on what you have in your home, in your environment, in your world. Go ahead and experiment and see if you can make harmonica sounds with other kinds of materials that are maybe similar, but you get kind of the gist with this construction here. So have fun with it and happy crafting.